Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the third stream of the day, or third stream of the week, anyway. Sorry, it's gonna be annoying. Volume off. Welcome. YouTube is live, so things are looking good. We're gonna be talking about A through F today. We got solutions to all of them, or anyway, I do. The last two problems, I didn't have time to think about too much, but I guess that's fine. So yeah, I guess if we have any particular questions, we can talk about those at the end. But we'll start with problem A, I guess. If that sounds good to you. Thomas, do you want to continue the tradition of starting problem A here?
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was? I can bring it up real quick.
Yeah, bring it up.
So here's the statement. Integer diversity. So you've got some array, and then you can make you can multiply some integers by -1.
Yeah.
And you want the maximum number of unique integers.
Yeah. So basically, these bounds are really small. So I just made an array of up to size 100, and then you just input your numbers, and then if you have a negative number, then you just store it as a positive number, and then you go through the array, and if there's one of those numbers, then it's usually a frequency array, but everything of the absolute value of the input. And then if you have only one, then you'll add 1 to your answer. If you have 2 or 3 or anything greater than 2, you'll just add 2 because and if there's 0, you add 0. So that's basically just saying for all positive numbers, add them. For all negative numbers, add them. And if there is a positive and a negative number, add both of those, but don't add more than 2 of any absolute value of any number.
Yeah, so frequency count of the absolute values, and then add 1 for 0 if you have it, and add 2 for everything else, or however many you have.
Yeah.
And that's it. There you go. Yeah, let's bring up the comments here. Good morning, Purple Crayon! Welcome. How was your contest, Purple Crayon? You weren't a tester, were you? Lava Master. Sounds like, oh my goodness, Purple Crayon GM, welcome. Welcome to the club. I guess I'm no longer in the club, but you're certainly welcome to take my place. All right, that's problem A. Let's go on to problem D here, or problem B. Mirror the string. It was an interesting one. I haven't seen something like this before. I had to think about it for a solid minute here, but wasn't too bad. So for mirror the string, you've got some string, and what you're gonna do with it is let's say it's abacaba, classic. You're going to place a mirror somewhere in the string, so maybe you place it here. Whoops. And then what you'll have is the first part of the string mirrored, so you'll have A, B, A, B, A. This is a palindrome, so maybe it's not too useful, but it's this, and then that is what you see. So you want this to be lexicographically minimal for any choice of where you place the mirror. Yeah, so I guess what are the cases, Thomas?
So there's one special case basically, but then the rest of it follows suit, where you want it's pretty easy to think about the problem if you think about what would happen if I took this number versus what would happen if I didn't take this number. You might even be able to greedily, well, probably not, but anyways.
Well, everything's greedy here.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
lexicographical.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's greedy.
So you want to take a number if it is less than or equal to, you want to take the next number if it's less than or equal to your current number, with one special case.
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of. So the first observation is if you start with something that isn't a decrease, right? If you start with AA or you start with AB, then it just ending with just cutting off the first number is better.
Yeah, so the first thing has to be a decrease. Otherwise, you'll just mirror the first number, and that will always be the lexicographically smallest because it'll be the shortest.
Yeah, otherwise, if you have a decrease, so if you have something like CB, then what you want to do is at the end, you're going to end with a BC, right? So you're going to end with an increase. which means you want this to continue as long as possible, as long as it's a decrease. So then you take like a maximal decrease.
A decrease or a stay.
Yeah, so you take like a maximal, like non-increasing subsequence.
Yeah.
So then you'd like take this, and then if you have a C here, you'd cut it there.
Yeah.
So those are the two cases. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I guess I'll show you the code real quick if you're particularly interested in that. So yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, okay, sounds good. So we'll talk about C real quick here. Next. So, problem C, representative edges. Did you get this one, Thomas?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got it pretty quick, within under an hour.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I had a wrong answer on this one.
I had a wrong answer on B.
Okay.
But then I don't know. I think I got a wrong answer on this one too.
So this one's it's like it's not particularly obvious what the question's actually asking because there's a lot of math going on for me. But what they're saying is you have some array and you're going to change some of the elements to the array to possibly any real numbers. They don't necessarily have to be integers. But you want to make it so that when you have the array, let's say you have like these 3 numbers or these 4 numbers, you want for every subarray in this entire array, so let's consider this subarray here, you want the average of the 3 numbers to be equal to the average of the outside. This is like a very human way of understanding the mathematical constraint. So you want the average of these 3 numbers to be equal to the average of the outside 2. Same thing for any 2 numbers, the average of the 2 is equal to the average of the 2, that's obviously always going to be true. And for the 4, you want the average of these outside to be equal to the average of all 4 of them.
Yeah.
So what does that imply?
The observation I made was that you just want, like, if you graph the numbers with the x being their indices and the y being their values, you want a line, a straight line.
Yeah, you need an arithmetic sequence, series, an arithmetic series.
Yeah.
Sequence. Whatever. Series, you add them up. So, yeah, and like, why is that? Well, if you have 3 numbers, right? So let's say we've got like a 1 here and then like a 6 here. If we have some third number that's going to be in the array, we know the average of these 3 has to be like, the 1 and 6 have to be the same distance apart as these 2 in order for 6 to be the average.
Yeah.
So if this is a difference of 5, this also has to be a difference of 5. And then if we have a 4th number, then we have to satisfy a bunch of things, but one of the things we have to satisfy is this part, which means if this is a difference of 5, this also has to be a difference of 5.
Yeah.
And actually there's nothing special about the numbers I picked here. They can be any arbitrary variable. So there's going to be some arbitrary sequence, and we need all of the numbers to fit this sequence. But we want to do it in a way that we replace the fewest number of the existing integers with arbitrary real numbers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's AP?
It's AP? What?
It was an AP. What does AP stand for?
Where does the AP? It was an AP. I don't know what an AP stands for.
It was a brute force.
Arush, what does AP mean? Nobody knows. Let us know, and then we'll tell you whether or not it was one. Okay, so yeah, so that's the idea. So then, how do you?
Yeah, arithmetic progression.
Arithmetic progression sounds very plausible. Yep. So yeah, how do you brute force all of the possible relevant arithmetic progressions?
Everyone knows what an arithmetic progression is. Okay, yes, I think it was that.
Okay, all right. yeah, you guys are right. We just don't know our math. Okay, all right. How do you brute force them, Thomas?
You can try so you run an n squared for everything to every other thing, find out what the difference between 2 guys is, and then you want to find the difference between the 2 elements and the difference between the 2 indices. And then you say, like, this is what we're going to use. And then you can run through the 70 elements and say, does the proportion of the difference.
That works. A more pretty way is like put them on a graph. How many are on any line?
Oh, sure.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
lines are defined by 2 points. Here we got 2 points, and these 3 are all on a line. So you can define the line with slope, y-intercept using fractions.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yep. Which, I mean, there are other ways of doing it, but
What's
I
the
didn't actually
order
code
of
it
this
this way.
one?
N squared.
Nice.
You could do n squared, but I
Yeah.
did n cubed.
I didn't cube too.
But yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
And that's pretty for a whiteboard, so I thought people would like it. Okay, code time, and then I will switch back to the big camera. Yeah, so this is it. Not particularly interesting, but
So hold on. With
There you go.
fractions, can I say something?
Yeah.
You can do a proportion where the distance between distance between the indices of 1 times sorry, can I use a marker?
I mean, it's basically just
Yeah. So the distance between 1 times the like the difference of the two guys should be equal to the distance times the difference. And this is of like 1 and 2, and this is like 1 and 3. 1 and 3, 1 and 2. Or like, yeah. So,
this is just evaluating whether it's on the line or not.
yeah.
It's not really helpful.
Well, they said fractions though.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do the fractions, just like multiply crosswise and then check if they're equal.
Well done, Purple Crayon. Let's go. GG. Purple Crayons got red. Nice job, Purple Crayon. Yeah. Okay. That's C. That's C.
Yeah.
I think we get the idea. Cool. Okay. Next one. Problem D. Keep the average high. This uses a super common trick. Did you get this one, Thomas?
I was trying. I didn't know what to do.
You were trying it. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a trick I have seen probably 10 times, but still this took me like 45 minutes to get. Yeah, so here's the idea. So we have an array of n integers, and we want to like hide some of the integers. We're going to select some integers, and we want it so that for every range of numbers, either that number includes a number we didn't select, or if it's all numbers we selected, we need the average of those numbers to be at least x.
Yeah.
So, the thing you immediately think, every time you have a requirement of average is at least x, the first thing you think, without fail, is always, let's just decrease all the numbers by x.
Wait, what?
Averages are annoying, right? The reason averages are annoying is because they include how many people are in the range.
Yeah.
So instead, if we had a requirement on the sum, that would be way more convenient,
Oh, and the sum has to be like.
right? So like it's easier to solve a problem if we have a requirement on the sum than if we have a requirement on some average.
Does the sum have to be greater than the number of things in it? Like if it's 3 elements, the sum has to be greater than 3 after you decrease everything by x?
No, so like if we decrease everything by x, then
Okay.
we're going for an average of 0.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure.
So we just care whether the sum is positive, 0, or negative,
Oh, okay, that makes sense, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the important part. Like decrease everything by x, and now we just want every subarray to have a positive sum. And the reason this is so much easier is because the subarrays have n different lengths.
Yeah.
So now we don't care about the lengths of the subarrays anymore because we've accounted for that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So here is the idea. Can we have a sample? Let's bring up a good sample. Oh, this 2421 is pretty good. Yeah, so let's say you've got like 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. We'll do a smaller version. So you have 5 elements, and in this case, x equals 3. So we'll solve the equivalent version, which is, let's say x is always equal to 0, and now we're solving for -1, 1, -1, 1, and -1. So now there's probably an easier way of doing this, but what I did was you can do a DP.
Purple Grant said he greeted it.
You gradient it. You can gradient. I suppose my DP is kind of a greedy. It's like a greedy maintaining a max. But
yeah.
yeah. So you like I guess we'll talk about the DP and then it winds up being a simpler DP than like I'm using tools I don't need here, but you do a DP of some index. And this says like if I include this index, what is the fewest number of things I need to delete?
Okay, sure.
In like the prefix.
Oh, that's smart.
So like yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So DP at index is like in some prefix how many things you have to delete so that there are no negative sums that are like continuous, not split up. And then you also like to do your transition, you have to do your transition fast. So to do that you have to say like where if I start here, where is like the first time I'll have some illegal range. So to do that you have like the cumulative sums. So you've got like 0, -1, 0, -1, 0, -1. So here we have a sum of -1. And like just ourselves doesn't actually, that's not actually illegal based on the problem, but this would be illegal. So we need to say like, if we haven't added this yet, what's the first thing before this bigger than -1?
0.
So it's the 0. Yeah, but it's like which index is it at? So that means like this 0 is the first thing we have to exclude from our range.
Oh, I see.
So we can take like a range max on this part of the array. Or I guess this part of the array shifted over by 1.
Yeah.
Because we delete this or something earlier. So yeah, that's the idea. Purple Crane's got a. Let's look at Purple Crane's solution here. Sanity check. So Purple Crane went from left to right, included the element if possible. That works?
And check if
Wait, does that work?
Check if it's possible. Just maintain the maximum prefix of the current range and the sum of the current range. That's basically what you're doing. Maximal.
Oh yeah, I guess it's always better to include it if it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, okay. That's a good solution. Much easier.
I thought, so like, if you exclude a thing in the middle, doesn't it like split it into 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was confusing me.
Well, with this DP, like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But
I
also, I guess, yeah, it's, you always want to exclude something as late as possible, right? So you might as well just be greedy with it.
So
like Purple Crayon said. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a better solution. That would make it much easier than my implementation for sure. Okay, sounds good. Cool. That's problem D. 2 more left. Maybe we'll finish by system test, who knows. Lexicographically small enough. So we'll explain this problem because Thomas hasn't read it.
I have read it.
You have read it.
Explain it anyway.
Well, we'll explain it nevertheless. So we've got 2 strings. This is actually a really easy problem.
I thought it looked easy, but I wasn't super sure how to do it.
It's super easy. And like, I saw it just right away.
Yeah.
You have 2 strings S and T of equal length. And in one move, we can swap 2 characters in S. We want to find the minimum number of operations we need to make S smaller than T. So let's do an example.
System tests are done.
We lost. All right.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I went up probably like around 100 points.
I went down probably infinite points because I didn't get F.
Ooh.
All right. So let's say we have let's say we have BA.
Hey, can someone check my rating? See how much I went up by?
Oh, you could check your rating, but
Nah,
All
they
right.
got it. Chat's got it.
we got BA and BA, so we can do one
Cam.
swap. What?
Cam.
What about Ken?
Whiteboard glitch.
Oh, thank you. Okay, BA. We can do one swap of this S, and then
Nice.
we can make it AB. How much did you go up?
113.
It's not bad. Not bad. Well done. Yeah. So this will make S less than T. We did one swap here.
Yeah.
So the answer would be 1 here. But it could be quite big. Probably.
So
it can be up to n squared, I think.
Number of swaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could have a sorted string. Oh, it might not be. Well, it's close. It could get close. You could have like an almost sorted string and an almost reverse sorted string.
Bounds are 10 to the 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to do something slightly smart, but not that smart, because if you like look through each character in T, right? Let's say T has a bunch of characters.
Yeah.
Like if you look at this first character, in S, you either have to tie it or beat it.
Yeah.
So let's say you beat it. Like S has a bunch of things. If we're gonna beat this character, we just take the first thing that's less than this and move it to the front. And after that, we're done. We don't care about the order of the rest of these things.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
So either like we beat it now.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Or we have to tie it.
Or
and
we
then
have to
beat the
tie
next
it.
one.
But if we tie it, like we just clearly want to take the first thing that's equal to this.
Yeah.
And then we go to the next one and we keep going.
So that would, yeah, okay.
So you run into a little bit of a problem though, which is like it's not super obvious, because like as we shift, so let's say this is like a C, and we have a C here, and we want to move the C to the front.
You move other letters down.
Other things get kind of like moved.
Yeah.
So in particular, like everything else will keep its same order, but this C just might not exist anymore, which means this stuff we now have to pay 1 less to move it to the front. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense.
So
Well,
let's
the
say
C
we
is over
tie
here
a
now, right?
Yeah, the C is here, right? And now let's say we have an A here, and
Yeah.
we want to move the A to the front. What is the cost of doing that?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
It's-
well, so
it's
you
now
just
one
have to
less.
maintain, like, this index, which moves here now.
Yeah, but the C could have been here. It also could have been here.
We're not looking for it?
Well, we will like store like a
What if we-
stack
Or like a...
or a queue of like all of the C's in the string.
Oh, why don't we just store, like, a tree set or something?
What do you mean a tree set?
Well, so...
A tree set of indices for each letter?
Yeah.
That'd kind of be unnecessary. We only ever care about the first copy of each letter.
Not the indices for each letter. Well, you want to get, like, the next higher thing above C, or equal to C.
No, like, we don't necessarily want to put a B here. And if there's an A here, we can put the A here if the A comes before the B.
Or like a lower.
We want anything lower, but
Okay,
we want
sure,
the first
sure,
of
whatever,
those.
yeah.
Yeah. Not necessarily like a B.
Okay.
'Cause it's, yeah. But the important thing is like this A, we have to know which position it's at.
Fenwick tree.
Yeah. So a Fenwick tree is certainly one way of doing it.
Mm.
Do you understand why you need a Fenwick tree though?
Fenwick trees are bits?
Yeah. So the important thing is like this, we need to know okay, this is the A, right, that we're
Yeah.
interested in. We need to know how many of these things have already been removed. from
Oh,
the
yeah, that
string.
makes sense. Yeah.
So we'll like, initially all of these things will be 0, right? And then
Mhm.
we'll say, oh, we moved this C to the front, so now this is like a 1. Yes.
Oh, because, yeah, you have to do it for every single time. You have to know how many things we have removed above you versus behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you can
I
use it
understand. Yeah.
I'm sure there are other data structures you can use, probably built-in stuff in C++. Okay, yeah. Maintain a Fenwick tree and do some stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so Purple Karen kind of said it already, but yeah, you just like, you store a Fenwick tree of like which indices have been used. This is problem E already. Ooh, man, yeah, flying through it. Problem E. But now we're on problem F.
Okay.
Purple Crane's solved count is elite. Let's go. All right, tricolored triangles. So, quick disclaimer here. I have not actually gotten a C on this. I'm getting a wrong answer, but I'm pretty sure I have the right solution, so we'll talk about it anyway. Welcome, Neil! Neil's here. Neil's an LGM,
Nice.
if you didn't know. And also commentator on some big like 1v1 streams. Okay, so yeah, tricolored triangles. What is the problem? The problem is, you haven't read this, have you?
No.
Okay, so you've got a graph, and the graph may have some clicks of size 3 in it, and it may have some other stuff too. So maybe the graph looks like this. We're also going to give each edge a color. So either they say 1, 2, or 3, but we're going to say 0, 1, or 2.
They give it or we give it?
They give us some of them. So maybe they say like this is 0, this is 1.
Yeah.
And maybe this is 0, and this is, or maybe this is 2, and this is also 2.
Okay.
So they give some of them, we have to fill in the rest. But we have to do it with this requirement that every triangle here, where a triangle is like 3 nodes that are all pairwise connected, every triangle either has all the same color or all different colors.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So an example of how to do this is we could do 1, 2, 1. We can just make this 0 because it doesn't matter. It's not part of any triangles anyway.
2.
And make this a 2. Cool. So that's possible. And the bounds are kind of weird. So we have n is less than or equal to 64. And m is less than or equal to 256.
Cool.
All right. Any initial ideas?
Well, those are powers of 2 right there.
Those are. That doesn't really matter though, because they're not necessarily powers of 2. They can be any number less than that. But yeah.
So you have.
You might be thinking like do some crazy long bit mask stuff here, the 64, but I don't think that's at all required.
Okay, so you know if you're given 2 edges on a triangle that you have to complete the triangle.
And you know what the third one would be.
You know the third one would be, right?
In particular, do you want to mention what exactly that would be?
Well, what do you mean? Like if you're given 2 1s, the third one has to be 1. If you're given a 1 and a 2, the third one has to be a 0. The complement?
Let's draw them out. So if you're given 0 and 1,
yeah,
you need a 2. If you're given 1 and 1, you need a 1. If you're given 2 and 1, you need a 0.
Oh, is this like the XOR?
No. Because the XOR of, well, yeah, the XOR of 1 and 1 is 0.
Oh yeah, okay.
If you're given 0 and 0, you're given 0. 0 and 1 is 2. 0 and 2 is 1. See the pattern here? 2 and 2 is 2. So if you call this A, this B, and this C, you know A plus B plus C is equal to 0 modulo 3.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the pattern. Surprise. Yeah. So it's equal to 3 under mod. So there's your answer. So what do we do with that? K-Sun's here. Oh man, K-Sun is here. K-Sun, you need a blue name. K-Sun's name is now blue. All right. So yeah, Thomas.
Okay.
This makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question, potentially unrelated. Do you know what Gaussian elimination is?
No.
Okay, well. So that's kind of important. But the idea is like, we have a bunch of requirements here. So, like, we can literally find all the requirements. We have like, we've got like this bit plus this bit plus this bit equals 3. Or like this variable plus this variable plus this variable equals 3.
Okay.
We're gonna do everything mod 3.
Yeah.
So we've got like, well, we label these A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H,
Oh,
and I.
interesting. Okay.
So we have stuff like this. So we've got A plus B plus C equals 0. We have C plus E plus D equals 0. Then we have G plus H plus I equals 0. We also have A equals 0, because we know it's forced to be 0.
Yeah.
We have E equals 0.
Oh, this is like systems of equations?
Yeah, basically. And then we have G equals 2. So you can plug these into a matrix and then solve it, and it will give you solutions for all of these. But you might have some rows that aren't well defined. So yeah, so like what would that look like? You might have, like if you use Gaussian, you'll get something like this. So you've got this column at the end, which is like the answers. So you have like, this is A, B, C, D, and so on. So you have like A plus B plus C equals 0. The rest are zeros. And then you'll have like, at the end you'll have like A equals 0. So when you do this, you'll get something like you'll do some elimination, and then you'll have like B plus C equals 0. You'll have A equals 0, and then you might have like F or like D equals 2. So here, let's make a better example. So this isn't going to correspond to the graph we had earlier, but you might have something like this. So I'm pretty sure anyway that when you do Gaussian, we can set these first variables equal to these, and then just set everything else equal to 0. I think that should work. I mean, for some reason it's not, so maybe that's not entirely true, but I'm pretty sure in theory that should be correct. Yeah, I guess if someone wants to correct me on why that doesn't work, that might be nice, but I'm pretty sure it's right. I think I just have a bug somewhere. Okay, and what questions are people saying? Conditions are less than or equal to m to the 1.5. Oh, so you can make it much bigger? I mean, surely they're less than... Yeah, the number of triangles in a graph are less than or equal to the edges times square root of edges. That's a thing. Because you can find all the triangles in a graph.
Oh, sure.
Man, we're frozen. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's like a common thing. You like sort the nodes by degree, and then you can prove it. Yeah. So I guess, does that make sense to anyone in the chat smarter than Thomas, potentially smarter than me? Like, can you just take all of the ones here that work and then take like the leftmost thing in each column, set it to the answer? Maybe it depends on your Gaussian code. Yeah, there's an algorithm to like look through all the triangles that just would be fine. Are the bounds quite large?
They're not.
If Andrew He is saying so, okay, Andrew He better be blue too. If Andrew He is saying so, then they're probably pretty big. Well, like, okay, surely they're not that big. The number of columns you have is at most 256, right? Assuming we're still talking about F here. You have at most 256 columns. So you have, it's like 256 times, like m root m times 256, right?
Andrew, he said what you said about Gaussian is fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think it should be fine. I mean, I haven't actually done the, I guess let's do the math here. Oh. Yeah. Is that big? That seems like a small number. Oh, I guess 500 cubed is pretty big. Plus 10 test cases. All right, well. Good thing system test was generous.
Did you get a pass?
I didn't even pass.
Oh.
I failed test case 6 for some reason. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's problem F. Those are the solutions. I don't think we're qualified to talk about the other two problems today.
Yeah.
It was very fun for the educational round, but
Are there any other questions in chat for any problems we might have rushed over too quick?
Yeah, any other random questions? We'll stay for a couple minutes here. Or random unrelated questions about Thomas, if you'd like, because this is going to be...
Yeah, this is my last stream.
I'm going to be leaving Wisconsin soon. So, quick AMA here. Yeah, that's it does look sketchy the more you say it. 1 second, 10 test cases, each are 10 to the 8 with mods, like, Might as well just give us like a 5 second test case, 5 second time limit here, but I don't even know what they were trying to, I know, right? Purple Crayon, right? I don't know what they're trying to prevent here, but 300 IQ seems to have quite a bit of experience anyway. Problem H is easy. Have I read it? I haven't. No. Should I read it? I don't know.
I study at the University of Central Florida in computer science.
$15 milliseconds? Oh my goodness. I guess you probably have like a pretty big constant factor on the M root N. But, okay. Fake Elon Musk, or maybe the real guy himself, who knows, asks, can you become competitive programmer if you're not good at math? Well, I'm not good at math, so do you count me as a competitive programmer?
Yeah, I'm not really good at math either. I think math is kind of important, but what's more important with like numbers and stuff is being able to recognize patterns. And I think that like even if you're not naturally gifted, like learning about those patterns and learning like cool stuff about different stuff like that will get you a long way. But yeah, someone in chat said study math. Study math is how you get good at math.
There are also things that are like very well known in math that aren't well known outside of math. So like one example is Mobius inversion. It's like a very math heavy thing. There's also these things called like generating functions, and then once you get red, or once you're trying to like get red or like are at the level of red, knowing this stuff becomes important, and then not having a math background becomes one of your biggest handicaps. What's our IQ? I don't think either of us have actually taken a serious IQ test, like a legit one.
I've taken 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I took like the online one that was sitting around code forces one of those days. I don't know how legit that is.
I took 2 as a kid, and we'll just say that all IQ tests I've taken online have way over exaggerated my actual IQ by like a standard deviation.
Purple Crayon, no, don't learn math. Purple Crayon, keep you're gonna be running problems. Keep running problems without knowing math. That makes it so much more fun. It's the total number of equations. I don't know what we're talking about here. Any tips for a newbie to become LGM? Man, as someone who's not an LGM, who is now yellow, I think for 2 contests in a row, or at least yellow/orange, I don't know that I'm qualified to give LGM tips.
If you are a newbie, lower your goals first a little bit, right? You got a few steps in between those, I think, and solve your problems.
Well, I mean, I do have a legit tip, which is like actually don't just like focus on solving random problems. I mean, like focus on solving just random problems insofar as like if you don't know how to code something comfortably, but once you're able to like actually sit down and code anything that you understand without an issue, like quickly, it's much more important to focus on like new concepts and like learn those concepts. So like learn how to use a Fenwick tree, learn how to use all of the data structures your language has built in, like hash maps, tree sets, tree maps, stuff like that, and just like practice doing that.
Go watch all the algorithms threads videos.
Oh man, look at that plug. Yeah.
You should have solved all of your algorithms threads.
You should know all the tree basics. Solve all the tree basics problems. That's like a very good way of learning. Purple Crayon can count 5 people who are/were in this chat and have a max rating of at least 3,000. I would definitely believe it. We got Andrew. We got Kevin. Who else is there? Elon Musk. If Elon Musk is a competitive programmer, we got Neil. Certainly that's at least 4. I don't know who we're missing. There are probably some people whose names I don't recognize, but I should. Is it possible to memorize all problem types before interviews? How much time do you have before your interview? And there aren't really that many interview problems. Like as someone who interviews at a big tech company.
You should know. I mean, they're gonna give you the basic stuff. You should know
You're
binary
gonna
search.
get a binary search question. You're gonna get a cumulative sum question, or you might.
You should know all your data structures.
You're gonna get a tree question and a linked list question.
Yeah.
You're probably not gonna get a DP question, but you should be ready for it in case you do.
Best way to learn DP. I think, okay.
Mango.
The thing that helped me learn DPs the most was understanding that DP isn't like a thing. There's so many different types of DP problems that it's kind of like learning math. Learning DPs is kind of like learning math, where
they also just never get easier. Like,
yeah.
You can be an LGM and still not solve a DP problem. Mango equals Mango Lassie. Interesting. I don't know him.
But
I do know the last guy whose name I just can't really pronounce.
I have a few really easy DP problems. If you
take it or not DPs. People take it or not.
Take it or not DPs. Just Google take it or leave it DP. It's always like you have some number of things. There's some number of elements in these things. You can take this thing, but if you take this thing, then you can't take the next thing or whatever, right?
Yeah, we kind of just talked about that idea, how to become specialist, but that's a much better goal than like become LGM, I think. At least, or like it's a much more likely to be successful goal.
Yeah.
Because like almost anyone can become specialist. There's nothing, like nobody's blocked by intelligence for becoming specialist. You can always do it. So you just got to put in the practice, learn your concepts, and do it. You had to make a YouTube channel to type. Oh, it's Sus. Sus. Do you know who Sus is?
No.
Sus is like.
Oh, look at that.
Following Monogon, the meme lord of Code Forces. Huh. Sus is gray.
That's pretty
the Code Forces magic.
How did I have so much contribution?
I think he made like a bunch of. I mean, he made anime pictures. He made a bunch of funny blog entries.
Nice.
Yeah. He's just lots of very high quality. Here we go. That's Andrew He. I think this is Tourist.
Oh wow.
Who else do we got?
Sus has the memes.
Rainboy. Do we actually know who Rainboy is? Does anyone know who Rainboy is? Hang on. Let's hear this. Who's Rainboy? Do we know? Do we need to like conduct a search of Rainboy's code and like identify who Rainboy is? We should do that.
Yeah.
Oh really? We do know. Rain Jian.
First name Rain. Pretty cool.
That is actually quite cool. He made IOI from the US team. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Maybe he's just like, that's his practice schedule, is like do all the hard problems in every contest.
Yeah.
It's not Elon Musk. Okay, well, there we go, just in case. The real question is, what would Rainboy be if he took life seriously? You know who Rainboy is, right?
No.
Oh my goodness, Thomas, how do you not? Rainboy is a legend. Rainboy is like the Ruben of he's like the new Ruben. You know who Ruben is, right?
No, I don't know.
Okay, well Ruben is quite the guy.
You just only solve the hard ones? Whoa.
So this is Rainboy.
Huh.
And the reason for this, like, it kind of looks like rain, maybe. No, that's not the reason. The reason is that, let's look at one of his contests. Here's a Div 2. Oh, we'll do friend standings. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, he always goes hardest to easiest.
Oh, he starts with the hardest and goes to the easiest.
So yeah, so on like educational rounds, when it's rated for him, he'll do quite well. Well, actually, he'll do poorly on educational rounds because you don't get more points for the harder ones.
Oh,
but like on this, there we go, plus 144 because he just solved the 3 hardest problems, and then he like stops when he gets to the boring ones.
Mm.
Yeah, and then Ruben is the other classic example of like the one of the funniest graphs of all time. Specialist, registered 11 years ago, but get this. Oh.
Wow. Is that on purpose?
Look, I don't know, man. I really don't know. This guy has solved almost 4,000 problems. He does like every contest. He does it in Delphi. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know, maybe like the language just has such big like requirements for just boilerplate that it's so hard to do anything with, but I don't know. Or maybe he just like doesn't practice to get better, he just does it because he likes it, which is totally cool too. Does Rainbow have an alt account? I have no idea. Somebody should ask him.
Yeah.
I've never met the man, so I couldn't tell you. Although I'd certainly like to. My personal favorite competitive programmer? Oh man, that's a tough question. Anything I say here, there's someone who's like, man, I'm great friends with this guy, and I'd be saying he's not. You know, I'm good friends with lots of them. I'm good like I don't know.
Sus.
Yeah, Sus. It's Sus. There we go. Yeah. Sus is my favorite. Sus is my favorite competitive programmer. Sus, if you want to make a video, I'd be down. Or if you want to make your own channel, I'd be down too. You can just go do that yourself. You don't need my permission anyway. Rain Girl. Is Rain Girl a thing? This Rainboy's alt? Or is this something not competitive programming related that maybe I shouldn't be looking up here?
Apparently, Ruben is a teacher.
Really? Okay. Daruha did the contest today too. I think he's a teacher as well, a professor. Rain Girl. I didn't know of Rain Girl. Is Rain Girl doing the same thing? Maybe. Maybe.
I guess.
I wonder if Rain Girl will
look
ever.
at a competition where they got plus rating. I mean, that's a lot of plus rating.
Well, what? This is a very big plus, but like, to get this on an educational round, you almost certainly have to like not stop solving them. Like Rainboy has this thing where he won't solve like A and B because they're too boring. Yeah. Okay, this is also just not legit.
What?
Rain Girl solved A, B, C, D, and then E, and then didn't get F.
Oh yeah.
So this is not the Rainboy strat.
Yeah, this is just a normal person with the tag Rain Girl.
Oh, Rain Girl's your girlfriend though. All right.
Oh, that's funny.
There you go. Is for real? Like really?
I mean,
when Sus says something, you can never tell whether it's true. It's not like he always lies. There's just a 50-50 chance of it being true, so you never know. Okay. Yeah. Any more questions? Are we in university? Thomas is. I am not.
I'm a sophomore.
I am a double super senior. If I were still in university, I still do practices with my university still.
Yeah.
Which is Thomas's university, but UCF. Healthy UG. Who is ID? Is ID an account?
No, it's
Healthy UG is like
the.
Healthy UG is. He was in the chat yesterday and the day before.
They want us to look
At Healthy UG.
At people's tags.
Okay. Yeah, he's the guy with the sign, right? Did I spell it wrong? Wait. Healthy. Wait. Oh man, what am I doing? Oh, he's now Demoralizer? Yeah, that's what it used to be, I think.
Can you change your name?
Yeah, Code Force is magic. You can change it, like, at most once per year. Like, for the next week, basically.
Oh, but only...
Shout out to anyone. Also, Monogon is back. Welcome back, Monogon! He used to be one gun. Okay. Oh, yeah, if I typed it into the URL, I would have gotten it. Yeah. This guy, he also has a YouTube channel. That's a solid rating graph.
Yeah.
It's a solid rating. Keep going. You'll be LGM with no time. Nice job, sir. How am I not friends with him? Oh man, now I'm gonna get roasted for that. Oops, he's cool.
No, he's an expert.
9,011, 911, 911. Yeah, is he in the chat? Is he here? Maybe not. Okay. Utkarsh Gupta. Yeah. Oh, as you can see right here, that is his name, in fact. Okay. Oh yeah, Demoralizer. Yeah, he used to be Demoralizer for sure. We also got Monogon back. Oh wait, he's got a capital M this time. I could have sworn it used to be lowercase. Used to be lowercase m. But maybe, I don't know, maybe the capital letters is the new cool thing. You got, you know who, Monogon, Umnik, Eric Doe, second thread, I'm cool. I define what's cool, right? Sure. Granted, you also got tourist with the lowercase t, so you can't change that at that point. The lowercase t. It was always capitalized, for real. Really? Okay. Alright. Demoralizer for second thread. I'd be down for a 1v1. I'll do it. I'll do it. Get a geometry problem in there. All right, here's a question. Samarth Gupta, are you at all related to Utkarsh Gupta? Same last name. I was thinking about this in the chat earlier as well.
Wait, what is your new? Oh, is it? Use the same ID?
I'm always second thread. Yeah, I'm not changing that.
Not changing that.
Any plans on changing the handle? No changing the handle.
It only lasts for like a week.
In fact, no. You change the handle forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you can only change it for the next week.
Yeah.
Mm.
Monogon changed it to one gun.
So it's gonna stay.
Which I think was a bad decision. No, that was last year, and now he just changed it back.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he told me in Russia, he's like, I'm gonna change it back. He's like, yeah, that's a good idea. Everyone's still calling you Monogon anyway, so.
Ooh.
There are millions of Guptas. Okay. There's what was in the history of the entire universe? I guess there's Chandra Gupta, and then Chandra Gupta, the first.
Yeah.
No relation to Chandra Gupta.
All right.
Okay, yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Who is first thread? There is no first thread. The meme for second thread comes from the fact that when you're programming stuff, the first thread does all the boring UI stuff, and the second thread does the cool vision processing fun stuff. And also because initially when I picked the name second thread, it was for something that's I don't care about this, so it's just second thread, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then it's that's actually a cool name. So there you go. Do you note down each and every unique... Okay, that's a good question. Let's answer this one first. Do you note down each and every unique problem you encounter? How do you get back to it later on?
Bookmark it.
That's a good idea.
Bookmark it. You should have a bookmark folder that's upsolving.
Yeah.
And then you just once you solve the problem, just remove it from your bookmark folder, and you just have a nice queue of cool stuff you can do.
I've got a mental stack. I have
Does that
a
work?
mental stack of which things I should upsolve.
Yeah.
I also have a written list, which I add to when it's really important. The problem is occasionally this stack just infinitely grows. Stuff gets added to it faster than it gets removed because of how many code forces rounds I do. So it's I still have to upsolve Monogon's round, right? Monogon and Purple Cran and the guy whose name I was mispronouncing forever.
Bookmarks are nice because you can do it from a bunch of different sites. So if someone links you some random website that has a cool problem, you can just bookmark it, and then if your browsers share bookmarks or whatever that works, then you can get it from any browser. It just works really well.
I am 23. Would you also like my social security number? What's the capacity of my mental stack? No, it's definitely a stack. Yeah, it's definitely a stack. When I get a new problem, I'm okay, let's do this problem first, and then I go back to the other. So it's a stack, not a queue.
The bottom of the stack is just
the bottom of the stack just never gets touched. Yeah. Review yours _tourist.
Is that actually tourist? Oh, that's funny.
What is?
That they chose _tourist.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at this graph.
Better be as good
is
as
it one underscore or two? Maybe two?
You should have a...
Love the profile picture. Well, it's not quite the real Gennady, to be fair, but it's still quite impressive.
Looks kind of like mine. A little bit.
Yeah.
At a peak. And
when am I planning to overtake Tourist? It's gonna be a few minutes.
Yeah.
It'll be a bit. But I do have a fun story about Tourist that I might tell. About me versus Tourist. Might tell that sometime.
Alright. This is not going to be a handler review stream.
Who is Conqueror Tourist? Conqueror Tourist is one of the best Python coders, though. He is actually everything he does is in Python. It's very impressive. I think he started using PyPy because it's faster.
Yeah.
But it's just he's the first. I don't know if it was Grandmaster or something.
Oh, but you should.
I think he's from MIT.
But you should review my profile. It says Daniel Anderson.
Is this actually Anderson? It's the real Danderson. It's
The
gotta
fake
be.
one?
All right, Danderson, what is your profile?
No, review mine first.
Oh,
Review mine
Thomas's.
first. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all
And
right.
then Daniel, do you do code forces?
Daniel, you should do Code Forces if you don't. For those of you who don't know, Daniel's a friend who went to our high school
Yeah.
and is a super cool guy. And he did programming contests with me at MIT. No,
UCF.
MSOE.
MSOE.
MSOE in
yes.
Marquette.
And UCF, right? Went to
And
the-
yeah, and he did the UCF contest with me, and we did quite well. We won the the MSOE and also the Marquette contest with Daniel. So okay, Timmy, then Mints. Let's review. He's green. Disappointment.
Yeah.
Not because being green is bad, but because he was like expert before.
It's
Now,
gone
who
down.
at the say, who am I to talk, right? Yeah. But
Yeah, Daniel
I don't
doesn't do it. Daniel doesn't compete.
oh, you should, Daniel. You should.
Yeah, this is a sad graph.
Eh.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't do code forces rounds and all. But they're going up. The last contest, in a bit, it'll be a plus 113.
Come start doing these Code Forces contests, Daniel. They're so much fun. You should do them. Get back into competitive. Do Facebook Hacker Cup next year too. You can win a T-shirt. You get a free T-shirt that you earned. Come on, wouldn't that be great? That'd be terrific.
All right, we're probably gonna sign off soon. But if anyone has a good algorithms thread topic they want, put it in chat. we're gonna request for algorithms threads topics.
This was unplanned by the way.
David needs some inspiration for next.
I have. There's one that's planned. I just need to come up with time to do it. But
yeah, it could get better than Thomas.
I get better than Thomas for sure, Daniel. Yeah, for sure. Will they be autographed by David? Okay. I was gonna say if you want them autographed by me, I will. If you get it and then find me outside of this, then I will 100% autograph it. But the problem is they're made by someone that isn't me, so it's like difficult for me to get to the shirt before it's shipped to you.
All right.
Explain code of C. Sorry, we're kind of past that.
Oh.
Flows.
You've seen.
Okay, we got FFT, DP,
FFT, DP,
flows. Flows is a good one. Flows.
Oh, you haven't
is
done one on
definitely a good
flow
one.
yet.
Flows is a really good one.
All right, we might have a flow one. I'm on your side, viewers.
DP. Did someone say DP?
Yeah,
everyone always says DP.
Someone, yeah.
There are lots of DP tutorials out there. Is kind of the problem. Aho is a really good one. Aho is another good one.
Is that how a math thing?
Aho is a string thing. Although it sounds like a math guy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Russians.
4 Russians! Is he talking about 4 Russians? Saving logs? Slaying logs like a lumberjack? There's 4 Russians is kind of cool. Although, I have, never used it in a Code Forces. Plus, you run into so many issues with, setting time limits for that.
Yeah.
Because it's, you're trying to distinguish, n log n for n log squared. And it's second thread name origin. That's not an algorithm thread topic, but Mobius inversion. Oh, I don't know that I'm qualified for that. I am not a math whiz. It's a good thing it would.
Whoa.
Okay. Need DP. Max flow. All right. There we go. We got lots of suggestions. Thank you guys for the suggestions.
All right.
We will do our best. Show my friends list. Okay, fine. Fine. We'll do friends list. Am I gonna get embarrassed by this? I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, can you not check someone else's friends list?
No.
Oh, really? Interesting.
So yeah, here you go. Here's my friends list. I don't know. I think this is all pretty public knowledge. Most of these people are either people from UCF, people from UBC, or just people in the Code Forces community.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
How many you have?
Okay, lots of friends. I got 200 friends.
There you go. There's
205 friends.
205
there you go.
friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
Including Cruz, who has the same last name as Ava. Sorry, camera's back. Okay, thank you all for watching. That's it'll be back.
Oh,
in a
okay,
minute.
yeah.
Thank you all for watching. It is going to be over now, and good luck on Hello 2020.
Yes.
I will be in Seattle for that, unless my
be-
flights get continually canceled like they have been recently.
Yeah. I'll be in Florida, so I won't see any of you guys for a little bit. But if anyone, you guys have been giving me questions. I haven't been answering a whole lot of them, but I'll get to those. If anyone wants to message me, Timmy Thinmans on Code Forces. Appreciate it. All the follows and whatnot.
Sounds good. Happy